Did you know that there are over 5,000 pyramids currently on this earth, on different continents, and made with a range of materials? Hello and welcome to Ancient History Encyclopedia. My name is Kelly, and today we're going to have a look at pyramids in Egypt and around the world. Even though there are over 100 pyramids in Egypt, these triangular architectural feats are found all over the world, including in places such as Peru, China, Cambodia, and even Italy. Let's start off with what a pyramid actually is. How do you define a pyramid? Well, pyramids are often square-based, although there is such a thing as a triangle-based pyramid. They are often monumental structures with sloped sides, which reach a point at the top. The function of pyramids changes between groups and cultures, and often they will be stepped rather than flat-sided. It wouldn't be surprising if when you heard the word pyramid, you thought of the spectacular flat-sided pyramids of Giza at Egypt. However, there are many pyramids around the world which have very different form and function. Before we jump into the lesser-known pyramids, let's start off with the most iconic, the pyramids of Egypt. The Egyptian pyramids are royal tombs, built as the final resting place of the country's great kings. It is believed that the spirit of the king can move to the afterlife of the field of reeds through the point at the top, and then easily travel back down to earth if he desires. The most iconic of these structures, built between 2589 and 2504 BCE, are the three pyramids of Giza, including the Great Pyramid, which is the only surviving wonder of the seven wonders of the ancient world. Egypt has approximately 138 pyramids, all ranging in size throughout the country, but they all have the same function. The first pyramid in Egypt was the famous step pyramid at Saqqara for King Djoser, and the first flat-sided pyramid was completed in the 4th dynasty under the reign of Sneferu, called the Red Pyramid. The subterranean burials were accompanied by tunnels and chambers, which would have been used for other burials for family members such as the Queen, along with treasures, grave goods, and artworks.
Elevated to the heavens, the pyramids look like gods that have set foot on earth, towering over the landscape with unwavering resilience. They witness the rise and fall of civilizations, echoes of the ancient cultures that built them with incredible tenacity and skill. But what was their motive? The legend of the Tower of Babel, described in the book of Genesis, tells us that after the Great Flood, people began to strive to reach the heavens. Then God, filled with horror at human determination, decided to intervene. The pyramids are the eternal question posed by antiquity that continues to attract and amaze mankind. Whether we have seen them in pictures or visited them in person, they leave us breathless with their grandeur and unique structure. They are spread all over the world, from Mesopotamia to Egypt, from Mesoamerica to India and China, and many other places. What is beyond a doubt is that the construction of these structures has required extraordinary effort and skill, and also a high level of organization and coordination. They are a reflection of the knowledge and skills of the ancient civilizations that built them. Why did our ancient ancestors choose to build pyramids? This is a question that attracts the curiosity of many researchers. According to academic scholars, pyramids have appeared in different cultures around the world for different purposes. In Egypt, as tombs for the pharaohs; in Mexico and Central America, as sacred places for rituals and sacrifices; and in Peru, as temples and a place of worship. But do we agree with this academic interpretation? Building the pyramids requires considerable effort, skill in organization, and coordination. Rather, it required the possession of extremely advanced knowledge of mathematics, engineering, and astronomy. How were our ancient ancestors able to master these technological advances? Did they arrive at the knowledge on their own? Or were they helped by someone with higher development? Or perhaps the pyramids were the work of a higher power or civilization. What made ancient cultures choose the pyramid shape specifically for their structures? And how was that all significantly ancient societies turned to building pyramids? The questions are endless and the answers limited. But with each answer we discover, we are one step closer to unraveling the mystery of the pyramids. Why did ancient civilizations build pyramids?
Before we get into the reason why and how there are pyramids all around the world, let's talk about some of the examples. I'll start with the Pyramid of the Sun in Mexico. These folks really knew how to build a city. Their well-planned urban center spanned over 7 square miles and boasted several pyramids. But the Pyramid of the Sun is the most impressive. This giant pyramid was built way back in 100 CE and is one of the biggest structures of its kind in the whole Western Hemisphere. It's so big that it's 216 feet high above the ground. If you ever find yourself in this ancient city, you won't be able to miss the Pyramid of the Sun. It's right there on the east side of the Avenue of the Dead, the city's main north-south street. To build this incredible pyramid, around 1 million cubic yards of material were used, including a special kind of red volcanic rock called horizontal. Impressive, huh? We don't know too much about the people who built the Pyramid of the Sun or its purpose. But archaeologists believe there was once a temple on top of it. When explorers went below the pyramid in the 1970s, they found a bunch of cool tunnels and chambers. In 2011, they even found a secret stash of clay pots, obsidian pieces, animal bones, human figurines, and a mask. Who knows what other secrets the pyramid is hiding? If you decide to see this one, you must climb the pyramid using the 248 uneven steps on the west side. Watch your step. Sudan got some pyramids too. Nubian pyramids aren't as big as the ones in Egypt, but they still got around 200 of them. These ancient pyramids have been home to the tombs of the pharaohs of the Meroitic Kingdom for almost 1,000 years, who ruled Egypt from Nubia to the Mediterranean Sea.
Although it isn't common to associate China with pyramids, there are over 40 in the Shanxi province alone. With some of them believing to be over 8,000 years old, these structures are still fairly mysterious to us. These amazing structures were first recorded by the Jesuit priest A. Kircher in the 17th century CE, and by the 18th century, the circulating theory was that China was a colony of Egypt. The most famous pyramid is the tomb of Qi Shi Huangdi, who was the first emperor of China and ruled between 221 and 210 BCE. It was in the royal burial mound that the 6,000 terracotta warriors, 500 horses, 100 chariots, and over 100,000 weapons were found. The pyramids were the burial places for the royals and elite of China, with empresses, children, and concubines all having been found. The pyramid burials most likely symbolize the home of the gods and the afterlife, and the physical placement of the pyramids have astronomical connections, as they were built in line with the stars. This may be accredited to the belief that the royals ruled due to a mandate from the heavens. There are more pyramids in Asia. Although not commonly considered pyramids, the monumental structures in the Kokor region of Cambodia are in fact pyramids. The most famous pyramid in Cambodia is Prasat Thom in the Kokor region, which dates to circa 921 CE. This stepped pyramid with a flat top is not a burial place like most other pyramids, but is a temple to Shiva, built under the reign of King Jayavarman. In Cambodian, pyramid is known as a prang, and the prang of Prasat Thom extends to over 36 meters, and it's older than the famous Angkor Wat temple. The Nubian pyramids are best known from Meroe, the capital city of Kush, which was later known as Nubia and is modern-day Sudan in Africa.
Pyramids torn from the pages of history are architectural masterpieces that continue to attract the attention of the world. Let us unravel the mystery surrounding the erection of these majestic structures by ancient civilizations that were separated by space and time. In the heart of Egypt, the pyramids stand as an eternal witness to the might and splendor of the pharaohs, while in distant Mexico and Central America, they are monuments to the gods, and in Peru, temples to the supreme Incas. They serve not only as symbols of imperial power, but also as a metaphor for the culmination of human development or the connection to the cosmos. But the challenge remains: what drove these different civilizations, which again, according to academic scholars, had no connection with each other, to choose the same form for their monumental buildings? Why a pyramid? What is the nature of this form, and what additional function could it have? Is there a real possibility that these pyramids served as energy storage and transfer centers? Let's dive deeper and seek the answers to these questions. For what purpose were the pyramids built? The architectural form of the pyramid is unique. It is familiar to us as a geometric figure consisting of 4 triangular walls and a base that can vary from square to rectangular. The top of this structure penetrates high into the heavens, rising from the earth plane. Depending on the region and the material available, pyramids are constructed of a variety of materials, from stone to clay, adobe to wood. Some pyramids are finished with smooth stone blocks, while others are decorated with artificial images and symbols reflecting the spiritual tradition of their builders. The size of the pyramids is also varied, ranging from smaller religious shrines and tombs to giant structures such as the Pyramid of Cheops in Egypt, rising to an impressive 146 meters high. It is also recognized as one of the most magnificent wonders of the ancient world. The pyramid's supposed functions are as varied as the civilizations that created them. They are all, however, symbols of the power and greatness of those who built them or for whom they were built. Is there a hidden purpose behind the particular shape of the pyramids?
The pyramids at Meroe were constructed using granite and reddish sandstone. Oh, and did you know that Sudan has more ancient pyramids than Egypt? The Kushite pyramids depict the indigenous architecture and burial traditions of Nubia's Napata and Meroe kingdoms, which ancient Egypt influenced. Meroe, the burial site of over 40 queens and kings, is the most extensive Nubian pyramid site. The tomb walls depict mummified royals bedecked in jewelry, their wooden caskets containing bows, quivers of arrows, and other artifacts pointing to the Meroitic relationship and trade with Egyptian and Greek civilizations. So if you're looking for some ancient tombs to explore, you may consider skipping the crowds in Egypt and heading on down to Sudan. Let's fly to Iraq to see some more pyramids. Ziggurats have fancy receding layers and tiered temples. Instead of a smooth exterior, it has tiers like a cake. Perfect for all the important work and rituals that went on inside. You can find these towering structures scattered throughout Iraq and Iran, and they're a real testament to the power and skills of the people who built them. One of the biggest and most impressive ziggurats is the ziggurat at Ur. It's basically a giant rectangular pyramid that stands a whopping 70 to 100 feet tall, with 3 levels of terraces and a temple on top. Can you imagine how many baked bricks it took to build that thing? Try 720,000 for just the lower portion. This particular ziggurat was built for Sumerian king Ur-Nammu. Similar to other ones, this pyramid has been around for thousands of years, so it got a little rough around the edges. Thankfully, the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar II and some archaeologists came to the rescue in the 6th and 20th centuries respectively, and now you can find this near Talil Air Base. The ziggurat at Ur was built in 2100 BCE by King Ur-Nammu for the moon deity Nana. It was the tallest building in the city, and you could see it from miles around. It was like the medieval cathedral spire of its day. People would come here to bring their agricultural surplus and get their food allotments and seek spiritual nourishment.
These structures began appearing as the tombs of the kings of Meroe after the Egyptian pharaoh Thutmose I conquered the region in circa 1500 BCE, and the later campaigns of Thutmose III finished the conquest of the region. The Nubians greatly admired Egyptian culture and were highly influenced by them, but were far enough away to develop their own separate culture and religion, and their tombs for their kings emulated the form of the Egyptian tombs. At Meroe, Kushites built over 200 pyramids, which means there are actually more pyramids in Sudan than there is in Egypt. The pyramids at Meroe are smaller than those in Egypt and lack a point at the top, although it is believed that there was once something made out of perishable materials that sat atop the pyramids. Believe it or not, the Americas have more pyramids than the rest of the world combined, and the Inca, Aztec, Maya and Olmec cultures all built pyramid-like structures for royal burials and for their deities. Mesoamerican pyramids were artificial mountains, thought to invite the gods down to a home which they would find both familiar and comfortable. The Mesoamerican pyramids differ from those in Egypt as they feature a flat top, and are more similar to the step pyramids of early Egypt. The greatest Mexican pyramid is at Tenochtitlan, which was the capital city and the religious center of the Aztec civilization. The pyramid in the center of Tenochtitlan is known as the Temple Mare and was built in honor of the gods, Huitzilopochtli, the god of war, and Tlaloc, the god of rain, in circa 1300s. On the outskirts of Mexico City is another Aztec pyramid known as Tenoyuca. Surrounding the base of the pyramid are stone serpents, which may be a decorative choice inspired by the Toltec city where they first appear. The largest Mesoamerican pyramid site is Teotihuacan, although no one knows the original name. The present name comes from the Nahuatl language of the Aztecs, and it means something along the lines of the place where the gods were created. No one knows who built this site or why, but most likely it was built to represent the home of the gods. Another famous pyramid is El Castillo at Chichen Itza in the Yucatan, and there are many others, such as Tikal in Guatemala, and the list just goes on. When the Maya were discovered in the mid-19th century CE, they were believed, just like China, to be a colony of Egypt. An amazing rediscovery in 1988 of the pyramids of the Lambayeque Valley in a site known as Tukume was built in circa 1100 CE and was used for over 500 years and was home to 3 different cultures. It was the Sican culture who initially claimed the region as their capital. Then it was incorporated into the lands of the Chimu and then absorbed by the Inca and finally abandoned in 1532 CE. There are over 250 pyramids at the site and 26 at the site of Tukume, and it is considered sacred to the indigenous peoples.
Pyramids with their distinctive form can embody a range of functions that affect the basic conceptions of the world of their creators. One of these meanings may derive from the observations and skills of ancient celestial astronomers. According to some theories, the pyramidal shape may have been chosen to visualize the astronomical positions of zodiacal constellations. For example, the gradient of the slopes of the pyramids at Giza in Egypt may have been calculated to reflect the inclination of the constellation Orion. Furthermore, the geometry of the pyramid may have had symbolic significance, forming a bridge between the heavens and the earth. For numerous ancient societies, the apex of the pyramid may have been represented perfection or divine energy. On the other hand, its base may have been associated with the earthly and humane. Thus, the pyramid must likely serve as a kind of symbol of the human striving to achieve the ultimate or representation of cosmic space. After all, The pyramid with its unique shape was an emblematic symbol of ancient societies. It also served as a powerful tool to demonstrate the power and greatness of these civilizations. Were the pyramids used as energy centers? The question of whether the pyramids served as epicenters of energy continues to be debated, but evidence that would support this theory remains elusive. There are speculations that believe that the specific geometry and orientation of these majestic structures may have had something to do with the unconventional energy characteristics. Although these ideas have yet to receive scientific recognition, some researchers have suggested that the pyramid's unique design may generate special energy fields or even amplify the energetics of the surrounding atmosphere. These notions are often found in the context of esoteric teachings or in contemporary neo-esoteric culture. The day science begins to study non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in a decade than all the previous centuries of it existing, said the great scientist Nikola Tesla. Tesla's fascination with the pyramids was inspired by the fact that he believed they served a higher purpose, and he explored them throughout his life.
Sadly, the Nana temple at the top of the ziggurat didn't survive, but we do have some blue glazed bricks that may have been part of its decoration. The lower parts of the ziggurat are pretty amazing though. The architects even included holes in the temple's baked exterior to let the water evaporate from its core. Since we explored some of the pyramids on our planet, let's take a broader perspective. They can be found in many parts of the world. Egypt has over 100 pyramids, double that number in Sudan, and dozens of others are scattered in the Middle East and China. The Americas have the most pyramids in total, with more pyramids than the rest of the world combined. These pyramids are located in Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. Time to know more about the evolution of pyramids through history. The oldest pyramid is in Egypt. This pyramid was a step pyramid, which was created by placing one layer of stone on top of another. The pharaoh Sneferu is credited with creating the pyramid shape we recognize today. During his 45-year reign, he built 3 pyramids. His first 2 attempts failed, but he finally got it right with the Red Pyramid, which is considered the first true pyramid. It was Sneferu's son, Khufu, who built the Great Pyramid of Giza, which was the tallest human-made structure on Earth for almost 4,000 years. Latin American pyramids are similar to early Egyptian step pyramids, but they were built independently, with no knowledge of each other. The pyramids in Sudan were built around 700 BCE and are tall but much narrower than those in Egypt. How in the world did all these civilizations build these things without even texting each other?
The site became known as Purgarito or Purgatory because Christian priests had native people who refused to convert carried to the top and thrown off. The construction of these pyramids mirrors the same as other cultures, as symbolizing the home of the gods as artificial mountains, so they would trick the gods to thinking that they were real and to come down to be closer to the people. The Pyramid of Cestius was built during the reign of Augustus, between circa 18 and 12 BCE. The monumental structure is 30 meters high and made out of white marble. On one side, there's an inscription, and in translation it reads, Gaius Cestius Apullo, son of Lucius, of the Pobilian district, praetor, tribune of the people, official of the public banquets. According to his will, this work was completed in 330 days. It was executed by his heirs, Lucius Pontus Miller, son of Publius, of the Claudian district, and his freedman, Pothus. Underneath the pyramid is a funerary chamber, which was discovered in 17th century and is a common use for pyramids around the world. The Pyramid of Cestius is far steeper than the pyramids of Egypt, which explains the depiction of pyramids during the Renaissance, as the only pyramid that they would have been familiar with was the Pyramid of Cestius. The pyramid design has withstood the test of time right up until the modern day, as the style can be identified all over the world. This includes buildings such as the Louvre, the Trans-America Pyramid in San Francisco, and the Culture and Entertainment Complex in Russia, and many, many more. The purpose of pyramids has altered dramatically, from burial places and temples to museums, hotels, and entertainment complexes. However, they're still popular all around the globe. So why do you think the pyramid style is still used today? And do you have any pyramid-shaped buildings near you? Let us know down in the comments below. This video was brought to you by Ancient History Encyclopedia. For more great articles and interactive content, head to our website via the link below. Ancient History Encyclopedia is a not-for-profit organisation. If you'd like to support our work, head to the support link down below or hit the button on the screen. Don't forget, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like and leave a comment down below and subscribe for more.
What did he find so alluring about the pyramids? He wondered if they were giant transmitters of energy, a thought that coincided with his research into how to send energy wirelessly. In 1905, Tesla filed a patent in the United States titled "The Art of Transmitting Electrical Energy Through the Natural Medium." In it, he outlined projects involving a series of generators located around the world that would use the atmosphere to harvest energy. He sees planet Earth itself with its two poles as a giant electrical generator of unlimited energy. His triangle-shaped project became known as Tesla's electromagnetic pyramid. According to Tesla, not only the shape of the pyramids, but also their location was important for their power. He built a facility known as the Tesla Experiment Station in Colorado Springs and the Wardenclyffe Tower on the East Coast, which sought to harness the Earth's energy field. The locations were chosen after calculations were made and confirmed to the laws of governing the location of the pyramids of Giza, relating to the relationship between the planet's elliptical orbit and the equator. The project was designed for wireless power transmission. Unfortunately, Tesla failed to secure the necessary funding to complete the project, and so this experiment and its possible benefits went with their great engineer. Nevertheless, these hypotheses remain unsupported by the scientific community and are considered unproven. Even many of these assumptions have been dismissed as unscientific or unproven. So despite the abundance of existing ideas and assumptions about the energy characteristics of the pyramids, the evidence that would confirm they are served as energy centers in ancient societies remains undiscovered. Why did ancient civilizations build mostly pyramids? These architectural wonders of ancient civilizations are a symbol of one of the most unexplained mysteries in history. Why exactly did the pyramidal form come to be a choice of the ancient masters? There is a speculation that the architectural form of the pyramid may have served a number of practical purposes. This construction offers unique stability and durability to the building, as well as optimizing the visibility of land objects from high up. Inspired by the heavens, the ancients may have created the pyramids as a terrestrial mirrors of the star constellations or planets of our solar system, reflecting their astronomical foresight and knowledge. Yet, the reasons ancient civilizations built pyramids are as varied as their cultures, eras, and geographic locations. Pyramids are far from one-dimensional buildings. They are complex, full of mystery and secrets that still pique our curiosity and stimulate our imagination. Let us know what you think about this. Did the pyramids serve in ancient times as a communication or energy centers? But over time, this knowledge has been lost to us or taken away.
After all, the Aztecs, Mayans, and ancient Egyptians were about as different as possible. But despite their cultural differences, they all seem to agree on one thing. Pyramids were pretty cool. Step pyramids are all around the world because they were the most feasible and stable way to build large and tall structures without access to lighter building materials like wood and metal. The triangular form with a square base is the best way to build a sturdy structure, and having a cube structure would require more material for less height. Now, when it comes to pyramid design, the Egyptian pyramids were like giant triangles with a square base, smooth sides, and a pointy top. On the other hand, the Aztecs and Mayans went for a tiered cake look, with steps leading up to a flat platform on top. So, while all these pyramids share the same basic shape, they have their own unique flair. Each group built its pyramids using different materials, techniques, and slope angles. So while they may have been inspired by each other's work occasionally, they were just doing their own thing. Egyptian pyramids had smooth, angled sides that were designed to help the pharaoh's soul ascend to heaven. The Pyramid of the Sun was built over a series of caves that served as a passageway for the deities. The Maya built the temple of Kukulkan in Chichen Itza to honor the deity Kukulkan, usually represented by a serpent. Nicknamed El Castillo, it has 91 steps on each side, plus a platform. That's 365 steps, one for each day of the Mayan calendar. Tell me, Brightsiders, how were pyramids built? To begin with, humans made them, not a foreign race from space that landed on Earth. You see, one thing that all pyramids have in common is that they were built without advanced tools or even the wheel. It took a lot of people to build them, including skilled laborers and architects. For example, it's estimated that 20,000 people built the Great Pyramid of Giza, and it's believed that most of them were skilled laborers. Building pyramids was a massive undertaking that required years of planning and effort. The Great Pyramid at Cholula, Mexico, took 600 years to complete.
That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.